Good morning, children. Welcome back to the English online class of Sri Gokulam Public School, Guruvayur. Children, all of you know that the COVID-19 pandemic cases are increasing day by day. So, be at home and be safe. Let's move to our today's session. Today we will discuss the second chapter from our supplementary reader. The name of our lesson is The Friendly Mongoose. So this is a story about how a hasty action led to repentance. Hasty means a speedy action which was did without much thoughts. And repentance means to feel sorry for something bad you have did in the past. To feel regret for what you have did. Means you realized your mistake. So this is a story about how a hasty action led to repentance. So once there lived a farmer with his wife and his little son. He was very much fond of his little boy. One day he expressed his wish to bring in a mongoose to the house as a pet. And when he expressed his desire to his wife, she also gave her consent. She also agreed to bring a mongoose. And he says that this mongoose will be a great companion when their son grows up. It would be a great friend for him. So, he finally brings a tiny mongoose. It's a baby mongoose. And both of them are babies. Both the mongoose and the little boy. But within 5 or 6 months, this mongoose grown to a full size. It was grown to a full size. It had shiny eyes and bushy tail. Whereas our little boy, our baby son, he was still a baby lying in the cradle. And he always sleeps. You know what the babies do. Usually they sleep most of the time. And when they wake up from their sleep, they will cry. So these are the two things usually the babies do. And our baby was not different from others. This baby also was doing the same. One day, the farmer's wife, she wants to go to the market to buy groceries. So she told her husband, the farmer, to look after the baby because she does not trust the mongoose. After all, it's an animal. She cannot trust an animal. So she told that her husband should take extra care for the baby. And he told his wife that there is nothing to worry. The farmer, he assured his wife that this mongoose will be a great friend of him. It is a friendly animal. It is so sweet as our baby. It will not harm or hurt our baby. It will look after the baby more than me because we are best of friends. So you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about anything. You can go to the market without any fear. So she went to the market to buy the groceries. Meanwhile, our farmer, as he doesn't have any work to do in the house, what did he do? He went to the fields. You know, in the olden times or in the ancient times, the villagers, most of the villagers are farmers. And their only source of livelihood is from the fields or the crops they receive. So he went to the fields. And on the way to his fields, he ran into some friends. He met some of his friends unexpectedly. So he spent time with them. Then the farmer's wife, she returned from the market. Before entering to the house, she saw that the mongoose was ready to welcome her. That was the usual custom. So whenever she goes out and when she returns, mongoose will be there at the doorstep to welcome her. So As usual custom, he was there to welcome her. But when she saw the mongoose, she was very much frightened. Can you guess why? Because the body of the mongoose, it was smeared with blood. Smeared means it was covered with blood. The face and the paws. Paws means the foot of the animals. It was covered with blood. Smear means to spread over liquid or thick substance on the surface. We used to smear butter on the bread. So similarly, this blood, it was smeared all over the body of the mongoose, especially on his mouth and his paws. So when she saw the blood on the mongoose, she felt that the mongoose had harmed her little boy, harmed her baby. She felt very much frightened and she was blind with rage. Rage means anger. And she screamed hysterically. Hysterically means she was unable to control her emotions. She was unable to control her fear or anger. So she screamed hysterically. And she addressed the mongoose as, "You wicked animal." She thought that the mongoose has killed her baby. Then she ran into the house. Then what did she do? Out of anger, she hit hard the mongoose with her basket, which was full of groceries. You know, it might be heavy then. So she hit hard with the basket. And she ran to where the baby was lying. She ran to the baby's cradle. And when she reached there, what she found? She found that her baby was sleeping peacefully without any difficulties. And she also saw a snake which was torn and it was bleeding. Now she realized everything that had happened in the home. She understood that the mongoose had saved her child, her baby, from the snake. So she ran to see what happened to the mongoose. But she was too late. The mongoose was lying dead. So she touched gently on the mongoose and she sobbed a lot. Sobbed means she cried a lot. She was not unable to control her tears. Tears was rolling down her cheeks. She stared at the mongoose and stayed there for a longer time. Now she felt guilty for the mistake she has did. But is there any use of this guilty now? No. Everything is in vain. There is no use of being guilty now. Then she heard the cry of her baby. So she wiped her tears and ran to her baby's cradle. So there ends our story, The Friendly Mongoose. So children, what is the moral that you receive from this story? That we should not take any actions without any thought. We should not have any prejudice. We should not take any actions without much thought, because hasty action will result only in distress, will end up only in grief. So think a lot or think wisely before you take an action, because your action should not harm others. Hope you enjoyed the story and understood the moral in it. So read the story carefully and learn the notes that has been attached. So that's all for today. Let's wind up the session. See you in the next class.